Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second Div ERL of the Elite Series. My name is Fresh Atana, and with me today is QG. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
I hope you're doing
Hello,
fine.
hello. Yeah, I'm fine. How are you? Are you
Yeah, I'm
full of
totally
energy
fine.
for the new season?
Yes,
Totally fine. That's good.
that's perfect. Yeah, you are subbing in today for the wonderful Daniel, who sadly has Corona today, Corona, and so you won't play those 4 games today. So I will stick to the play-by-play role, and you are my wonderful color caster. We will do a great show for you guys. It's the kickoff of the second Div ERL here in the Benelux scene, so it will be a wonderful evening. I would say 8 teams will clash together, will show who is the best in the pack, and yeah, I think we have some wonderful and great matchups today.
Yeah, we actually have the first game is AOMA Esports against the Rift SLOTHS. And then we have Once Upon a Team against Pertinex Esports, Reapers Gaming against Aurora, and Dynasty against Adverse. It's gonna be interesting to see which team is going to take the first day or the first week. It's important to make a big scene on the first week to establish your position early on, so you can actually you have it easier the weeks later because you already have those points. And if you struggle the first week, you have to do more preparation on your team to get the points back you lost in the first week.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, we have some names, some teams who are quite known in the Luxembourgish scene. Of course, there's a Dynasty. I think maybe it's the biggest name in the second div for this split at least. And then of course Rift Slots, who made their way through the Luxembourg tour, for example, into it, and yeah, some other famous or well-known names, of course, even in the player base. So I think we have a great time ahead of us, and we are starting in the Champ Select with the new meta rising upon. There's the Khazad ban, and of course probably a Rice ban as well. It's just those really strong mana scaling champions right now will probably all get banned out of the Champ Select just because they are too broken right now.
Yeah, and then you have the broken jungler Maokai that's also still alive. That is, in my opinion, one of the strongest. Actually, in solo queue junglers, you have also Vi that's strong, Karma with the Radiant Virtue, kind of unkillable actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the meta is actually around Radiant Virtue right now. I think because of the extreme healing and the ability haste buff. Will probably change if there's gonna be a nerf, but for now the meta looks like this. The scaling champs that are going to bust in the team fights. Yeah, there's the Maokai ban.
Yeah, and then we have, of course, some target bans like this Traven ban against the ADC of AOMA, who was a really great Traven player in the past season, so just banning him out. Probably Syndra is a target ban as well against the mid lane, against Lotus, and there's a really strong pickup if they pick the Heimerdinger, just because he is so oppressive in the lane. You can like play into range lanes, you can like play into those melee lanes, and probably Caitlyn is the best pickup in such a lane just because you have a little bit more range. Maybe you can kill those turrets with Ashe, with the poke, with the volleys. You probably have a good matchup against Heimerdinger, but still Heimerdinger is so strong right now.
Yeah, and also Syndra, the ban. I think it's one of the strongest mages there is. So we see maybe here they look for the jungler and the bot laner. AOMA, no, they go for the Jax. Also one of the highest win rates in the top lane right now because of his rework. So we can look what AOMA prioritize here. Will it be an AD carry? I think so. What do you pick? You can go for the Varus actually to stay on the range with Caitlyn Ashe and also with the engage, but they go for the jungler instead. So you go for Sejuani, one of the stable junglers right now. Good tank, got the early damage, and the clear is also fine. That leaves open Vi and Zac for jungling. And also Udyr, I guess, but nobody plays Udyr. That could be the Sylas for the mid lane, I think, or jungle. You can play in where you want actually.
Yeah, I think he is a good pickup, especially now where they see Sejuani just stealing such a good engage ult usually is a really good call. And the Sejuani, of course, was a really strong pick against Caitlyn Ashe, both in mobile ADCs. So probably one of them, so probably Caitlyn will play Cleanse just to don't get perma CC'd from those three stunning champions. I mean, Heimerdinger can throw his grenade, then of course the E from Jax, and then all those stuns from Sejuani. So will be a tough game for Kinetic. And you already talked about the Varus, so they of course ban out Varus, one of the ADCs who had a little bit more range. So they just straight up ban him, and of course he would fit into this CC comp really well because he will hit all the arrows if the enemies are CC'd, of course. And then there's just a good matchup being banned out with the Ion, just to have a slightly better lane as Sylas, and maybe even forcing them into a mage. Let's see. And of course, Y also banned out. You already mentioned her as really strong. So just a couple of good bans, and now they need to decide if they show jungle or if they let Lex the counter pick, of course.
Yeah, with Varus gone, it will be hard for AOMA Esports to pick the AD carry. Lucian, you normally don't play Lucian with a Heimerdinger. You actually play him with the Nami or a Lulu. But I think they go for a mage bot lane. That would be actually not a bad choice here, because you get outranged, and with a Ziggs you can easily clear the bombs. You have the range, you can poke the Ashe and the Caitlyn out. And then you have Yasuo for the knock-up that the team provides, and also to counter the wind wall with the wind wall for Braum.
Yep.
It's interesting to see.
I think it was a smart rotation just to pick like Ziggs to have some more range against those two high range bot laners, and then of course like having this big counter against an Ornn, just always having a wind wall against them. And then of course they needed still an AD threat in the team, so they just picked up Yasuo, and now they should be fine on side lane AOMA, because it's a winning side lane with Jax against some tank. Mid lane probably 50-50. Whoever gets a small lead can probably like win this matchup, and especially if you steal a Yasuo ult, you always get the knock up from stunning him with the chain. So it's a really flippy matchup for both sides. If Yasuo can dodge some spells with his slides, then he will probably win it. And then of course I think with Windfall you can even block the ultimate from Sylas, so you can prevent him from stealing your ultimate, which would be really good. And yeah, and then they have a lot of wave clear with Ziggs and Heimerdinger, so I think both side lanes with Jax and Yasuo can scale a lot, just because you have so much wave clear on your team. So I kind of like AOMA's draft. But what is your opinion about both teams? Who has won the draft?
Well, the bot lane will be interesting. It's both a long-range bot lane, so they poke each other out until... yeah, here I think it's easier with Ashe to poke D6 and Heimerdinger, but I actually think that the overall team fight should be on AOMA esports side.
Yeah.
Because the Jax is so strong into the late game. He gets so tanky. The Udyr probably has a hard time to get to the 6 or the Heimerdinger because of the Rylai's. Ornn is not a good engage champion. He's more the second engage for the team. And if you see, you only have Ashe for the engage and Sylas who can follow up. So the overall engage of Rift Sloth is not that good. So AOMA esports has the upper hand here. But I think, yeah, it will be an interesting game though. Because we have a pause and some we have server issues, so we're gonna remake the game actually, and then we're gonna jump right in. But we can talk about the team comp now. If you see the Udyr, it's also one of the highest jungle win rates in solo queue. If you're on your target, you can easily stick with the new Phoenix, and also with Ashe the slows. But Rift Sloths, they lack a bit of engage. They have the Ashe arrow and the Ornn ult that can follow up, but it's easy. It's easy to hit an Ashe arrow, but to hit it on the right target is the hard point. Later in the game, you can have 100 ability haste to just spam the arrow and you just shoot it and you don't care. And then the Ornn can follow up, but if it's countered by a wind wall, you are actually kind of messed up for that fight because you miss a lot of the CC you get from the Ornn. So maybe the Sylas have to steal the Sejuani ult to actually do something. So I think for Rift Sloths, it relies on the Sylas to engage the fights, and for AOMA they have a pretty standard. Also, their 2v2 in the mid lane is stronger, and also in the top lane. So AOMA has the upper hand, I think, because Sejuani with 2 melees, doesn't matter where, she always has the upper hand. She can stun faster, and then you get 10% of your max health as magic damage, and then you're kind of dead in the early game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think it's harder to play for Rift Slots, and I think one key point in this match will be playing around the Yasuo, because if Yasuo like answers a side lane and isn't with the team, and you have your Ornn ultimate, then you have pretty much a really good engage. But anytime Yasuo sticks with the team, engaging becomes really hard, because like even if you get like the catch with the Ashe ult, you can't really run into them because there are like Heimerdinger turrets and there are those 6 bombs on the floor and there's the wind wall. So just getting a catch with Ashe ult doesn't really mean that you get a kill out of it. Just because they can peel like the target really well, and they can set up like all those crowd controlling stuff. So and the only engage after that is like Udyr running in or Sylas running in, but then you sit like under 3 Heimerdinger turrets. So could be difficult. So they really need to like push out side lane waves and hope that the enemy team like responds to that, and then try to engage like 4v3 or 5v3, because otherwise it will be really difficult. And I think a really hard part of this game plan will be that the enemy team AOMA has so much wave clear. Like you have 6, you have Heimerdinger, you can't even really play around those side lanes because they just get pushed back from those wave clear champions, and then you can't really play those 1v1 side lanes because Ornn loses the matchup against Yasuo and against Jax. And Sylas probably can win if he gets ahead, but then like it's a flip in the mid lane. So really playing around side lanes is difficult. Really playing around 5v5 team fight is difficult. So I think in draft Rift Slots had a harder time. But at least they have a strong bot line, like with Ashe, Caitlyn. If they get the push, if they can utilize like this really strong 2v2, then they can maybe play with it, but it's hard to play against 6 Heimerdinger. So all you wanted to do with Caitlyn Ashe is like bullying a lane, and now you have a wave clear lane against you, so you can't really bully. Yeah, it's a really well played draft by AOMA, I need to say.
Yeah, their side lane is also, I think, stronger, because if you send, if you do a 1-3-1, AOMA should win it, because Jax is stronger than Ornn, and Ornn needs to team fight to be really useful. He can clear the wave, but Jax just farms the wave and then hits Ornn with the lamb, and then what do you do? That's the point in the draft. If they do a 1-3-1, AOMA should win the 1-3-1. But if the Silas comes ahead and you get some kills, nobody can match him on the side lane. So that should be the plan for the Rift Sloths, to get the Silas ahead, and then to snowball the early game into the mid game, and then the late game they have more damage, more DPS, but the burst of AOMA is pretty high. If you lock up one with your Sejuani ult, and then you hit the 6 ult and the bombs, and Jax goes in, it should be a hard time for Rift Sloths.
Yeah.
But we see the new jungle, there's also new jungle, yes.
Yeah, and with that,
an invade on the bot.
Welcome to the first game of this first second div season in spring. Yeah. Good poke, but will mean nothing, I guess. Maybe we get some gold with a Ashe volley there, but besides that, nothing really happens. And with those early wards, I mean, you at least like spot in level 3 gank or level 2 gank from a jungler, but I think this will not really happen, and this could be interesting if there's a bad face check then, or and there's the face check, and you maybe get a stun out, or Ignite is out there as well, but no kill. Really good flash there by the Silas player, getting out of trouble. But no, the red buff is in danger, and Udyr still can't really contest it. He gets run down by 3 people, and yeah, he will probably get forced out there, but he tries to get something at least. But does he go for the steal? Can he run it? I don't think. Oh, maybe. We can't see it right now, but maybe. Oh, they can't even defend it. That's huge for the Udyr. That's really huge.
Yeah, and also for Yon, he pushed out the wave, and he can just go in now. Or he flashed for level 2 and didn't get it, and there's first blood. Then that was fast. The plan was actually not that bad to get the Sejuani ahead of the Udyr here. But unfortunately, it failed. Yeah.
But that's first blood for Rift Sloths, and I think this play was initiated by AOMA and didn't quite work in the end, and they even lost the Sejuani, and so now there's the time which we are talking about. Like if Silas gets ahead and wins his lane, then he can really win even the side lane. And now with this early kill, maybe there's a possibility to snowball from that. So I think that's the head start the Rift Sloths really needed to maybe get their winning game. But of course, nothing is lost here in the first 3 minutes, and AOMA can still bounce back from it. It's just first blood.
Yeah, it's the first blood, and Sejuani now falls behind. Udyr is way faster. Maybe can match on the red buff. Oh, what we see here.
Little trades. But no kill. But now both mid laners need to play safe against some jungle games.
Yeah, but yeah, we have a new season and new stuff comes out and there's a new jungle item again.
Yeah, and oh,
We
he
have to
did kill on
fight here.
kinetic, he could
Ooh.
flash out, but meanwhile in the mid lane there's a double kill probably going on. Sejuani dies, double kill to Udyr. Wonderful blade there from Riftos.
That was close for Batu. But yeah, we see the range they have. Oh. Yeah, the range of these both lanes is quite disgusting. If you get catched, you're kinda dead. But we see the Udyr coming down, but he will be seen. But that could be again a double kill for Udyr, or maybe maybe the flash.
He tries to
Yeah,
go
and
for a
that's
6, gets stunned, gets knocked up, but he gets the kill, and that's a fat Udyr in my world.
Yeah, there's the early game that Rift needed for the.
Oh, she tries, she gets the kill with the 6 together, but in the end Udyr still running, no mana on this little 6, so he gets killed.
No.
But in the end there's still
Oh
Sejuani, and it's the next kill for Kinetic. Wonderful plays there by Riftos.
Yeah, I guess Udyr is stronger than I thought. But that's the heads up that Rift needed to actually come ahead here, and now you have the Silers.
Bolo!
Yeah, the solo Bolo here.
Just Criminal, maybe he gets the kill. Can't land the snipe, so in the end, out attacks, but there's the heal, there's maybe the chains, but in the end, he can't connect them with one more out attack. He gets the next kill onto Criminal. Well played by the Silers.
Yeah, I think the plan of Rift is achieved to get the Silers ahead. It's done. Now we just see how they convert that into the mid game, because we see some damage.
Bolo try on the top lane,
flash
gets the kill with the flash. Yeah, wonderful play. I mean, on every single lane now the world is burning for AOMA, sadly, and I mean they still have a lot of scaling in their team, but with this early game it could be rough to bounce back. And I mean every single lane right now is just working for Rift Slots. Every bit they try is succeeding, and yeah, that's actually a wonderful game right now. I mean 6 minutes and 11 kills already. That's
yeah, it's
amazing.
a high. It looks like we are in the LPL, I think, with so many kills.
A little bit.
Do we really watch the Benelux tour?
Oh. They're just fighting. It's a wonderful game for every single player caster. Well, not for me, I guess. But anyway, they're just trying to fight, and I think especially from Rift Slots, I think they kind of need those early kills, and everything just works. And I really like those boots which they bought, like the Mercuries against all those CC spells and stuff, which is really good. But one thing I saw, and maybe you can say why, we have a teleport on Caitlyn instead of maybe a cleanse or something. So what is your opinion about that?
That they don't run cleanse?
Yeah, they run teleport in this matchup. Oh, next Bolo maybe, before you answer my question, but Siders gets out. Oh, there's the snipe with the ultimate, there's the next knockup, and that's the kill onto Yasuo. Wonderful shutdown there for AOMA, and meanwhile on the top lane, we maybe have the next fight, but Lex just gets out of there in no time.
Well, to run no cleanse here, it helps you in the... if you get picked, but the teleport helps you in lane and you can poke faster and be stronger. So,
oh, there's
but
Mr.
Udyr,
but they have a lot of damage. But in the end, Udyr is just more fat right now, and so he can just run down the Sejuani as well. No flash on Udyr, he plays with Ghost, so he can't really chase anymore. But the next kill goes into the pockets of Riftos. Yeah, good try, but no need for that.
No. But they have a ward here, so they can maybe kill him and steal it.
And they want to go for that. Oh no, they want to go for it.
Oh,
and there's the on ult and there's the kill. But Orn can't get an assist from that. I mean, that's sad, but in the end, still well played. And that was a really good trap, like from Lex. Like, I don't know if you saw it, but he was maybe not even in the brush for a better like ultimate angle. And like Jax was standing on the Plascon, but didn't saw him. So that was really wonderful played by Quaxel to like being sneaky enough to not being seen. Was great. And maybe the next Bolo in the mid lane, but there's the knock-up, there's a lot of damage, and he gets the solo Bolo with the Heimerdinger, of course. But some revenge there in the mid lane, and even a plating.
Yeah, I actually don't know if the vision range was enough behind that bush. That's good to know if you can't see behind the bush. But yeah, quite unfortunate for AOMA Esports, who thought they were safe. They had it warded, but they didn't see the ward on the blue buff, so it went. So they didn't know someone was lurking. Yeah, here comes.
Oh, wonderful sidestep there by the Ashe, and he gets out of there. But there's Udi. Udi is running. Udi has a lot of damage, but can't really connect into those enemies. Now he gets the stun. Now he gets a lot of damage down. But in the end, everybody survives in this situation. Q can't land, so no kills in the bot lane. But meanwhile, a fight in the mid lane. If he gets the knockup, he can just chain it with his own ultimate, but he gets knocked up by himself. So in the end, he loses this 1v1 again and again. Lotus just gets the next solo kill, and meanwhile, with the Herald, some platings gets destroyed.
Yeah, you see that Rift just tries to get ahead, but the Yasuo actually is not that far behind. There's more CS, and he comes with the kills now, so I think Silas lost his lead that he got in the early game.
I mean, if production maybe can show us the gold from both teams, so the individual gold, maybe we can see if Yasuo is still ahead, or if and yeah, it's just 100 gold in the bags of Yasuo. It's all the farm, of course. So and yeah, maybe even the one plating, I don't know. So got the lead, and like Rift Slots still ahead, like 2k gold, but it's all on Udyr, like the 2k. So they really need to slow down a little bit and don't feed this Yasuo, because otherwise, if you get like a really good angle with a 6-pad or maybe even with Sejuani knockups, then this Yasuo can go crazy in those teamfights.
Yeah, there is going to be a trap on the bot lane. So what do we have here? Yeah, the Udyr can just do what he wants, actually, because he's so far ahead. There will be more fights.
And there's a good snipe by the Sejuani, but in the end, Bulbulu gets killed there from the Sejuani, but there's no really fat Udyr gets 2 kills. In the meantime, there's even a Yasuo in the river, so maybe they can run him down. He tries to fight, he tries to survive, but in the end, he can't really kill 2 guys. And so Lotus gets killed. And with that, probably they can secure this trick.
Yeah, I guess the Udyr is just too strong right now at this point. He's probably unkillable and deals tons of damage with the demonic embrace. Even got the 7-stack dog seal. Will he go for the Magi's here to just up the damage? And there is the engage
arrow
and the kill again.
And And I mean, with no peel, the Ash Arrow can pick up people. So in a 5v5, that probably wouldn't be a kill, but maybe with this fat Udyr it would be. But in those single 1v1s or 2v1s, the Ash Arrow, of course, is really, really strong to pick up players in certain situations.
Yeah. So it actually looks better now for Rift than I thought the draft would be. The Udyr just does the whole thing in the early game. I think if you fight with the Udyr, you will win every fight. So maybe AOMA just needs to look for fights where Udyr isn't.
Yeah.
So a good tracking of Udyr would be good, but he comes top.
Yeah, and that could be troublesome for the Jax. He gets knocked up. Oh, the on ultimate doesn't connect, so you can't really follow up there.
But they go anyway.
But maybe with the next knock-up. But there's Sejuani, so maybe you can even turn into that. You have Heimerdinger. So she tries to go in. You get maybe the stun, but there comes the teleport. So if 3v3 will maybe go out. And now On can try to reconnect. Oh, Jax, he tries to stun. There's Yasuo. So if you get a knockup, but there's the kill on Jax, really good, well played there, double kill by SLOTHS, and now it's just Yasuo who gets knockup.
The kill,
really
shutdown.
Huge shutdown, really well played there, but in the end it's the triple kill for SLOTHS, disaster striking for AOMA, and in the end 19 kills now in total for Risbot, and he connects even the chain, so maybe he can run him down, but in the end no, there's the flash from Criminal, so no running, just just a flash.
Yeah, like I said, if you fight near where the Udyr is, with the AoE of the Phoenix, no, it's not Phoenix, it's a Nivea form, I call it. I think it's still the Phoenix, the Ice Phoenix. You get AoE down, and then you just happen to lose the fight because the max HP damage, the AoE damage just goes out. Yeah, but Yasuo got the shutdown, so he has his shield bow. He already had shield bow, he now has the BF sword. But the Udyr is going to buy Radiant Virtue or the Jack Show. Actually don't know what you pick for him, I didn't look it up. But I think you go for Radiant Virtue because it's very powerful.
Yeah, I think Jack Show should do it. But
Jack Show would be better, yes.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a Herald for a team who is behind right now. So SLOTHS maybe miscalculated this play a little bit. To lose like an objective, even though they are ahead, like is really, really unfortunate. And now with the Herald, they maybe even lose the turret if they push hard enough here. But you already see on the minimap, there's an On from the side and a Siders from the side. Now there comes the engage. Udyr is in everybody right now, and they get a huge damage there from On. 2 kills already and 3 kills make Katsuo. Now Siders says double kill, and yeah, that's basically over. Now they can push in this mid lane, and if it would be minute 20, then you could go, of course, for a Baron, but it's too early for that. So no Baron for SLOTHS, but a really well played team fight there, and yeah, AOMA just forced after they took down the whole turret.
Yeah, they can take the turrets very fast with the Rift Herald and the 6W. I think it immediately kills the turret. Therefore, it's really hard to counter that. But the SLOTHS are so far ahead. With the arrow actually does really good stuff here. And yeah, there's now the Ocean Dragon that the SLOTHS are gonna take. I like it when you when you put the Heimerdinger towers down. It does like a bee sound. It sounds way different than a bee. But yeah, there's the Ocean Dragon for the Rift Sloth. What will be? It will be Mountain Dragon. That's very good for the Rifts. For the Sloths here.
And he also just stepping in, but he gets a little bit of help right now. But there's an Udyr chasing, and maybe he can even get something there. But Lex tries to go for the solo bolo in the top lane. Meanwhile, really good 6 ult gets a little bit damage in, and the team fight ends right here. Probably they won't dive because there's no turret anymore, so no dive could be happening. But still, they try to chase down this Jax and steal some jungle camps. And Rift Sloths just have the whole map under control right now.
Yeah, Rift Sloths control. There could be a flank here. Yeah, there's the Heimer ult that gets taken down. No, the Sejuani ult. There is a fight again.
Tries to go in, and there's of course is a fat Udyr. So Udyr has all the damage in the wall. You even get a really nice arrow there on the Jax. But meanwhile, Sejuani is down versus Kinetic. We plays a wonderful game with 0 deaths at the moment. And now you can even try to siege up, because that's one of the biggest strengths from Caitlyn. Sieging with traps or sieging a Baron, because you can just block the entrances with your traps if you want, and then just go for Baron. But there's no jungler, so no stealing opportunity. And with that, like, it's really early Baron. I mean, 20 minutes and they just rush it down. Maybe it's the fastest Baron in ESL series, ESL Elite series history, second div. I don't know. It probably is, because there never was a second division, but it could be the fastest of the season. Who knows?
Yeah, what was it, 2020? Maybe it was 2023. So they take the first Baron in 2023. That's yeah, pretty funny.
Oh, man, yeah.
But yeah, they are so far ahead. They can do whatever they want. And also with the Ornn upgrades now, you can get even better items if you're still ahead.
Yeah. And every Ornn item around about like 1k gold of value. So if you get ahead with those, then you just get free money, and everybody lost free money, I guess. Now a little 1v1 there, but Ornn is just too tanky right now. And there's an edge around, connects it. So there is a burning Jax, can't really get. Oh no! It was close. Kinetic in the end with his Gale Storm gets the kill. Gale Force, not Gale Storm. Anyway, but he gets the kill anyway. So really well played there. Good pickup on the side lane, and now they play the 4-1 with Baron buff, and will just probably run them down, because Udyr, I mean, who can stop this guy right now? I think nobody.
Yeah, he's well, the Heimerdinger can slow him down.
Engage now on the backline. They tried their best, but in the end it wasn't enough. You get the next kill on Udyr. Now you run them down. There's Siders from the sideline. There's a hole. There are all the kills in the wall. It's a clean ace. Oh no, it's not a clean ace, because Jax was still alive, but he was killed prior to this play. So it's basically an ace in the end. The Rift Sloths maybe even finishing this game right now. They have a wave. They have 5 members. And they could maybe finish before the minute 23. Who knows? There's the knockup, there's the stun, but in the end it isn't enough for this Jax. He gets taken down, and that's the first game of this Elite LoL series. Second division. Rift Sloths will win it against AOMA in the first game of the day in under 23 minutes. What a dominating victory there by Rift Sloths.
Yeah, you see the plan of the Rift Sloths actually worked out in the end. They got the Silas and the Udyr ahead and just ran through the whole team and dominated the whole game, I guess, from start to finish, with the unexceptional invade on the bot lane that got sent back, and then AOMA ESPORTS with the kind of trap, but they trapped themselves. So it didn't. I think the plan in the early game for AOMA didn't work out, so they were maybe a bit. The Sejuani was way too far behind to actually match the Udyr. In any fight, the Udyr just outran Sejuani on all of the map points. He got the executes on the bot side, the 2 kills. He got the assist on the Sejuani. He got 2 kills in mid lane. So he was so far ahead. The Sejuani couldn't do anything, and that was pretty well played from the SLOTHS. They took their early lead into the mid to late mid game, I guess, and then just finished with the Baron.
Yeah,
it was GG.
Yeah, I mean, we can say there was no really late game in this game. It was just over with this Baron. So really well played, but from both teams, of course. So AOMA, of course, has the chance to bounce back in the next week, or maybe even on Friday with the next match day. They are always on Wednesday and Friday, of course. And now we need to see when the second game is starting. So normally on plan, there should be like game 2 on 20 Cat, but now we got the information that we will start like in round about, let me check, like 10 minutes or something. So maybe we'll have like 7 to 8 to 9 minutes of break, and then the game should starting at 19:50 for you guys out there. So just 10 minutes of break now, and then we see our next match. Maybe production can show us the next match just prior to the break, that you guys are hyped to what we will see next. It's Once Upon a Team against, I can't pronounce this team, Pertinex. Pertinex, yeah. What do you say?
Yes.
What do you say, basically?
Whatever I say.
Yeah, those pronunciations. That's really rough for me. I'm sorry, but yeah, it will be a really nice match. And so with that, we'll send you to the break. I hope you had fun, and we see us in around about 10 minutes. See ya.